Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers. We're back. We're back. Brothers of the World.
Brothers of the World podcast, and we're back to bring you a new card, a breakdown. Yeah. UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Muhammad. Do you know the number of this one?
It's probably around 19 or 20. I'd have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's 19.
This fight taking place Saturday, March 13th at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, baby. This card, oh my god, dude. Khamzat Chimaev should be here.
He should, but he's coughing up blood.
He's coughing up blood, man.
Rona really got him. But you know
I
what?
got bronchitis. What if he had that? What if it was just bronchitis? No, it's corona.
It's Rona.
So he's messed up right now, so we don't know when we'll be seeing Khamzat. Speedy recovery for that guy. But we got
Leon Edwards finally making his return. The last time we saw him, I got to see him live here in San Antonio.
I thought he retired.
Leon Edwards?
No, he just hasn't fought.
He definitely got stripped of his ranking for a while.
Wait, so last time he fought, it wasn't against
RDA?
No, I thought it was against George Masvidal when he got the 3-piece in the soda.
Same night? No, not same night.
That was in the UK.
Yeah, that was in the UK. That was the same night that Masvidal
knocked out Till.
Yes, sir.
But so he had a fight after that.
Yes, he fought in July of 2019 in San Antonio, Texas, against RDA.
RDA, and he beat RDA to what else?
Decision.
Unanimous?
Yeah, unanimous decision.
That's a pretty impressive win. Happened in 2019, so he's coming off of a whole year layoff and some months, right? So, and then he's fighting. Remember the name, Belal Muhammad, who's taking this fight on short notice. His last win was January, right?
No, it was last month, I believe.
So February?
The 13th of February, yeah. And I think Belal Muhammad presents a lot of the things that RDA had. A lot of volume, a lot of pressure, a lot of trying to pushing him up against the fence. The only thing is, Belal Muhammad is an actual welterweight. RDA looked very small, especially against a big, tall Leon Edwards, who's 6'2".
So RDA is also coming back down, right?
Yeah, RDA has already came back down. He looked great, and when Leon Edwards did beat him, I believe he was still undefeated at the weight class. I'm not too sure on that.
I can't believe Leon comes in at 6'2". He looks kind of like a 5'11" fighter. Like on paper it says 6'2". Is he really like that tall?
I don't know. I feel like he's a tall, lanky dude.
Because even when he fought George Masvidal backstage, it looked like
it looked like Masvidal might have been the bigger guy,
or they were eye to eye. It isn't. I don't see Leon that tall, but 6'2" on paper. Now, guys, in my opinion, this fight is either going to be fight of the night worthy or sleeper fight worthy. Like it might be boring.
Boring. He's going to put you to bed.
So it's a welterweight main event, no belt on the line, but it is going to be 5 rounds, right?
And I agree with you. And I think it all depends on who takes charge. I think if Leon Edwards can just strike from a distance.
You don't think Leon's going to look to wrestle him?
No, I don't think so. I think that's going to be more Belal's. I think that's when we're going to see a fight of the night. I think we're going to see Leon pull out that something special. But if Leon is really dictating the pace and everything, I think we might be seeing one of those snoozers. We might just see him use his distance and really just strike his face up.
I think we're really in store for a snoozer. Now, let's talk about their last defeat. Leon, he's been riding a 10-fight win streak, 9-fight win streak?
8, I believe.
So his last loss, 2015, against the current welterweight champion,
Kamaru Usman,
who is GOAT status in some casuals' eyes, above GSP.
And how did
Belal's last defeat or what?
Well, I was gonna say, how did Usman beat Leon Edwards?
I don't remember that fight.
Basically wrestling him and putting the pressure.
And this is when they were both making their name. They were still
very very young. Yes.
Yeah, only a couple fights into the UFC. Belal's last loss was in 2019, but he also had a big 2019, he had 3 fights that year, and it was to Hands of Steel, Jeff Neal, who's just coming off of a loss to the Wonder Boy. So Belal, he has problems against power strikers, I guess you could say. That's usually with Jeff Neal, that's his forte. Leon Edwards, I feel like you said he's going to out-grapple him. Obviously, Belal and Leon, they both rely on a good mix of takedowns and striking, so they fight the same. That's why I just feel they're not really counter-strikers, but I just feel like it's going to be that real grindy fight.
Slow, grindy fight.
Who has the bigger gas tank? It's a 5-round fight. I see it going the distance. And I'm just going to go with the guy who's had more experience in tougher fights, who's fought the tougher competition. And then also, Belal short notice fight. So it's going to be tough to beat Leon, despite Leon's layoff.
Short notice fight versus super rusty long term.
Yeah, but is that? Do you think that's his fault or
no? That's not. I don't think
COVID,
I don't think it's anybody's fault. Yeah, it's just been very, very bad luck.
I mean, obviously the Hamzat fight would have been much bigger, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I'm gonna go with Belal Muhammad by decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you, Johnny.
I'm mixing it up. I feel like
For funsies.
For funsies, we're gonna. Well, if Belal Muhammad could win, we've seen that he's been growing in these last couple of fights. But if he can win here, I mean, it's gonna show that he's got something. He belongs there in that top of the division. So hopefully he can grind out a decision along the fence, and I think I'm gonna go decision Belal.
Decision Belal, decision Leon. Look at the odds real quick. Plus 220 underdog for Belal Muhammad. Minus 270 for the favorite, Leon Rocky Edwards. Now we're getting into match 2. We got Misha Cirkunov versus Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann coming off a loss to Johnny Walker. Cirkunov looks just like a brick shit house.
Yes, sir.
These two light heavyweights, I feel like they're coming in for some fireworks. This might win knockout of the night. Just looking at the capabilities here of what they're, both these guys like to end it quick, right? Don't you think?
Well, when you look at Misha Cirkunov, a lot of his wins, like almost all of his wins, are by submission. He's tapping dudes out very, very quickly.
But he got, Johnny Walker's knocked both of these guys out?
Mm-hmm. That's your MMA math fight of the night, I guess.
Who lasted longer with Johnny Walker, right? Let's see. So Johnny Walker knocked Spann out with 36 seconds. And let's see, or was that Cirkunov? Yeah, that was Cirkunov. And then he knocked Spann out in 2 minutes 43 seconds. So both round 1 knockouts. Spann lasted longer. So Spann,
you know what? And Spann actually had Johnny Walker in all sorts of trouble. In all sorts of trouble.
Wasn't this fight the elbows behind the head?
I believe. Yeah. He had him super rocked. He had him on wiggly feet, and then decided to go for a damn takedown where he got
spot
elbowed.
You know very well, being on wiggly feet after being in a fight, right?
No? Yeah, and then he went for a takedown, and then just got beat up with those elbows, and it got finished. Yeah. So what that was horrible fight IQ for my boy Ryan Spann, who fights out of Dallas, I believe. And before the Johnny Walker fight was on a tear. I think he was undefeated, or maybe had only lost one before that.
I think he had just lost to Corey Anderson.
So Ryan Spann was on a tear, but I can't. I hate going against our Texas folk, but I think the smart decision here is to go with Misha Cirkunov by submission. I think
you're a fucking idiot.
Holy shit!
No, I'm kidding.
No, but yeah, I feel like Ryan Spann is either gonna come out and finish it pretty quickly with that strong power, but I am not gonna trust his fight IQ in that last Johnny Walker performance. When Misha Cirkunov is coming off of a layoff for a little bit, but his last win was against Jimmy Crute, and Jimmy Crute looks fire. He's fighting Anthony Smith soon. I
thought Jimmy Crute was a middleweight.
No, he'd be a humongous middleweight. Yeah, he's a big light heavyweight. But yeah, I'm gonna go Misha Cirkunov by submission.
Just by overall size here, I just feel like Cirkunov is not going to be able to have. I think he's better on the ground to smaller fighters. Now I just feel like Spann's going to be able to Derek Lewis his way out of these. I'm going to stand up now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this just comes down to Cirkunov can keep him there. Spann, I just feel like he's going to end it quick. I'm going to go first round knockout. Now the odds very close to pick him. Plus 105 the underdog Spann, and then the favorite minus 125 Cirkunov. So it's really just going to come down to can Cirkunov take him down? Can he hold him there? Can he finish him? Spann, can he end it quick? So Cirkunov does have a history of getting knocked out. So if you look at his last 5 for Cirkunov, he's 2-3. Those 3 losses, he's been knocked out. Dating Johnny Walker, Glover Teixeira, Vladimir Ozdemir. Mm-hmm. And the only people he's beat, Crute and Cummings. And this is within the span of 2017 to 2019. So he's also coming in off that layoff. Spann is the fresher fighter. So I give that for Spann. It's going to be an interesting fight. I like this co-main event. I got Spann, though. And you got Cirkunov?
Yeah, I got Cirkunov submission. How do you see Spann? Knockout?
Yeah, first round knockout.
The next one is This is guaranteed fireworks. Dan Ige versus Gavin Tucker.
$50K.
Gavin Tucker, I think he's only had a couple of fights in the UFC now, but he's looked absolutely great. And in his last fight, he fought a dude that I was really high on, Billy Quarantillo, and fucking he dominated him. He dominated him. He outstruck him. He was able to get the takedowns. Everything that I thought Billy Q was going to be able to do, Gavin Tucker outdid him in. But this is a big step, man. Dan Ige is the real deal.
Dan Ige, he's that fight. Did he come from Contender Series?
Did he?
I read something on him that he trains out of Vegas. He trains, there we go, Extreme Couture. And, his last loss was from Calvin Kattar. Now he also edged a close fight with Barboza. That one could have went either way. A lot of fans thought Barboza got robbed. But Ige is just, that tough, gritty fighter. He can really grind on you, and he's not going to go down. With your hardest shot is probably not going to take him down.
It's not going to be an easy fight at all. You're not going in there and sweeping the floor with Dan Ige, that's for sure.
But another thing, Gavin Tucker is literally the perfect mirror match for him. He's the same, gritty, hard-nosed fighter. He just beat Billy Q. He also has a win over another Extreme Couture product, Justin James. That's the Guitar Hero, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like Extreme Couture trying to get the redemption on Gavin Tucker. It's going to be interesting, the Canadian against the American.
It seems like Gavin Tucker has more power. He just looks like a huge, maybe not in height, but just his build looks like a huge 145er.
So more power for Tucker. Ige can obviously withstand that power. It doesn't look like he has the power returning fire, but it's going to come down, like I said in the first fight, it's going to come down to cardio, fatigue, who's going to outlast who can take the harder shot, who's going to give more.
What are the odds on this one? Because this one is it's super.
Well, as you can see, Johnny.
I can't see.
No. Okay, they're actually very close, guys. Most of the fights on this card very close, I guess. But the next fight's a little different. But this one, plus 125. Gavin Tucker is the underdog. Ige, I guess, more experience.
Yeah, I was going to say he's shown a little bit more veteran, at least in the UFC. Their records are pretty close at 14-3,
pretty
13-1.
So minus 150 for the favorite Dan Ige. I like Gavin Tucker in this one.
Gavin Tucker?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the underdog in this one. I know it's going to be a close fight. This has fight of the night potential right here.
This is going to be fight of the night.
Right, this is going to be fight of the night. Because they're both going to go in swinging. Gavin Tucker has more of a takedown advantage and more, So on that side, he might be able to mix it up a little better. On the feet, he also has more power. So I just give more to Gavin Tucker. Now Danny Ige has fought the more experienced fighters, Kattar and Barboza. So
yeah, I mean he went to a decision with Kattar striking.
That's what I'm
strictly
saying.
Striking.
That's what I'm saying. He's fought the better fighters, and then Gavin Tucker, they're the same fighter who has more experience. But I'm going to give it to the
newer, fresher, up and comer.
Exactly.
I really, really want to agree with you because I think I think the mixing it up of Gavin Tucker is gonna be great and a way to win. But this one, just for funsies, I'm gonna say that Dan Ige can outstrike Gavin Tucker, boy.
Fucking liar, dude! You don't believe that?
Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. But that's gonna be my pick.
Jordan Martinez versus Davy Grant.
Jonathan Martinez
versus Davy Grant. Bantamweight. Johnny.
Both on a 2-fight win streak.
Jonathan Martinez, you say he has all the hype right now. I know you're.
For me, I'm hype on him.
I know you're picking him.
Yeah, I'm picking him. If you're looking at their records in the UFC alone, Davy Grant is 3-3 with all of his losses coming by submission.
So the Englishman.
And Jonathan Martinez is 4-2 with one of his losses being to Andre Ewell by decision. That was extremely controversial. I couldn't find an opinion where people thought that Andre Ewell won online. So I thought Jonathan Martinez won the fight. So I'm really high on Jonathan Martinez. He's looked like a really, really good
You're smoking
striker.
that Jonathan Martinez pack?
Yes, sir.
Smoking
That kind of sounds a little homo-ish, but we're all inclusive here, and I'm not. But
yeah.
Sure, we'll tell ourselves that.
Podcast.
All-inclusive podcast. But I'm not going to be smoking any guy's pack. I like Jonathan Martinez. I think he can outstrike him, even though obviously the best way to beat Davy Grant is to take him down and submit him. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the BJJ fighter. So you say Jonathan Martinez relies more on a striking game. I just feel like Jonathan Martinez, he might come in a little. I mean, he's the heavy favorite. I just want to think that he's going to come in there a little, on a high horse. Like he's going to be a little overconfident coming in and kind of fall for a Davy Grant. I feel like Davy Grant can submit him off his back.
David Grant's all of his losses in the UFC have come by submission.
All his losses?
Yeah, all of his losses.
Well, look at this record: 8-4 on subs, though. So even though he might have been subbed, the people that have subbed him obviously know more jiu-jitsu. I don't think Martinez over here out jiu-jitsu's Davy Grant.
Well, I don't think Martinez is going to follow him to the ground. So unless
you think he's going to keep it standing?
Yeah, unless Davy Grant can take him to the ground, he's going to have a hard time. Jonathan Martinez.
I don't really know too much about this fight, and I could care less. But I'm going Davy Grant. Underdog win, Englishman.
Don't go on Davy Grant. Jonathan Martinez.
Probably not. But hey, if you like underdog bet, don't pick that one.
The tides are turning here in the 125 division when Manel Cape, who just made his UFC debut last month and lost to Pantoja, he just made his UFC debut, is now welcoming Matias Nicula. I don't know.
Brazilian, yeah. Sounds like, he's a Russian Brazilian.
Who was already in the UFC and got cut after he lost to Dustin Ortiz, but is in 2018, but is now coming back to the UFC after a couple years out.
He also fought Smolka.
Yeah, he fought Luis Smolka, and what, did he beat him?
Yeah, he beat him to unanimous back when Cyborg fought Holm 2017. So yeah, this guy, he's been there before. He fought at Future FC, and then he fought at Brave CF, where we mentioned him earlier. Hamzat was the champion. So, or he was about to fight for the championship. So that's a good regional scene to fight on, and he won both fights in the regionals. So he's making it. Matias is making his return to the UFC. Kate, we just saw his UFC debut. Didn't go as planned, but there's a lot of potential there. He trains at AKA Thailand. So very kickboxing heavy. Hey, is that the video? Did you see the Instagram video with Cape and Khabib? Did you see that one?
No, I don't think so.
I believe it was Cape, where they were arguing about like soccer, and then Khabib was like something like, "Oh, who was the 2005 Premier League champion?" Because they're arguing about soccer shit, and he's like, "No, listen."
Hey.
And Khabib literally educated Cape on, because Khabib has a plethora of knowledge, and then he mentioned all the damn winners. So
Hey. I'm from Texas. I don't give a fuck about soccer.
Hey.
There's only one football.
Amen.
But no,
America.
I think Manel Cape, it didn't go as planned in his debut, but he did look really good against Pantoja. His problem was he wasn't pulling the trigger enough. When he did, he was
looked
landing
a little. I mean, I know they fight at flyweight, but he also looked a little undersized there.
Yeah, he did look like a smaller guy.
He looks like he walked, like he has to bulk up to make 125. Like he looks like a 115
fighter,
like an atom weight, honestly. And that's no offense, but I'm just saying he looks like it's flyweight, but you look undersized. It's tough.
I'm gonna go with Manel Cape. I think he shook off those debut jitters, and he's gonna go ahead and maybe let it go a little bit more and outstrike Matias, I believe.
I picked Cape last time, and he let me down. So I'm gonna go with the returning UFC guy who probably has a chip on his shoulder. He's like, "Hey, I was cut by them. I'm coming back. I'm 2-0 in regionals since then."
Manel Cape's coming off a loss. I gotta come out and.
He's like, "Yeah, dude, this is his." I just feel like Matias he knows what's at stake here. He had this opportunity before. He got cut. He's coming back. So looking at the odds, plus 125 for Matias, and then minus 150 for Cape. Most of these fights, they're close to being pick'em. The only one was the one we talked about right above it. That's the only big disparity in odds. Now let's go into our featured
Eric, ya boy, Anders.
He gets a lot of hate, dude.
I know, poor guy.
Right? What is it about him?
It's because I think he shows so much athleticism and explosiveness.
Well, he played on that 2009 Alabama championship football team.
Hey, what's funny is I said
football
is the only one thing here, and I don't know shit about football either.
You don't know shit about football, and you
either.
Sucked at football.
Cut.
7th grade B team, baby.
I started 7th grade, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The 7th grade basketball B team, though. That was fun.
You played basketball?
Yeah, B team, boy.
Anyway, we got Eric Anders versus the dentist.
The dentist, your boy. Eric Andrews
my
is your
boy.
boy, but Darren Stewart is your boy. Right?
I think he's good, just the way he fought Kevin Holland, and me and you are both Kevin Holland fans. So the way he fought Darren Stewart, and that fight could have gone either way. Holland did win, but I just feel Darren Stewart has a lot of potential, a lot of room for growth. Do you know how old he is? Is he in his 20s? I feel like he's like 30.
Yeah, I feel like he's been around. When you look at his record,
12
it's
and
really
6.
win one, lose one, win one, lose
So
one.
yeah, he is 30 on the dot. The dentist, he is a good fighter. He's been fighting the UFC for the past. One of the fights he took a break. I don't know if he was cut in between. Maybe he, if you can see, but he's beat Coconut Bombs. He's beat Darren Wynn. Now these are unranked fighters, right? Obviously, yeah, Patolo, he's had a rough time. Darren Wynn can't find a weight class. So he hasn't really had any notable wins. But I still see him as a good fighter, just the way he fought Kevin Holland last year, which was his last fight.
I mean, he took Edmund Shabazi into a decision. Edmund Shabazi was knocking everybody out.
Okay, so that was way before, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at his last 5. And Darren Stewart, he can...
Darren Stewart, it looks like he basically only loses by decision. And, you asked why people hate on Eric Andrews. I think both of these guys have the same problem. A lot of athleticism, a lot of explosiveness. It's just that they're not showing the growth that everybody thought that they should be showing. You know what I mean?
You know what another thing is? I've seen Eric Andrews. I've seen him comment on some MMA posts, and he always gets like shit, like, from the keyboard warriors, like, shut the fuck up. How about you win a fight? It's like, dude, anytime he comments, and it's not even like something disrespectful. He just comments his opinion, and people just attack him.
Yeah.
Like, people comment, who are you? And then you click his page, you look at his profile, and it says UFC fighter, but people are, who are you? And it's just, keyboard warriors out there. But Eric Andrews, I think he's cool. I like people who transition from a very elite football setting. Now, he didn't play in the NFL, but he played Division I football for Alabama.
Yeah, I know about that.
So, like I'm saying, I like people who make that transition from football to MMA. So, Eric Andrews, Darren Stewart, I like to go Darren Stewart. I just see he has more tools in his tool shed. Right? Yeah.
That's where you keep the tools.
That's where you keep them. But yeah, Darren Stewart, he is the dentist. He's gonna... But with that name, he doesn't really send people to fucking...
The dentist?
The dentist.
No.
Right? He should be called, like, the anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
Because he puts me to sleep. Anyway, because most of his wins, though,
He's looked great in all of his losses, too, Darren Stewart.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to take anything away from that Kevin Holland loss, he took him to the ground and he beat the shit out of Holland in that last round. Now, Holland did win round 1 and 2, so credit him there. But Eric Andrews, this one just seems like it's going to be another grindy fight, right?
Yeah.
Like a match of like strength and, like you said, athleticism.
The thing is, Eric Andrews is just so tough. He's so tough.
Say that again?
He's so tough. He's so tough, man. And Darren Stewart I don't think he's gonna finish him. So we're gonna see another decision.
That was hilarious.
And that was the last fight there on the main card.
Any other notables you want to go over? Angela Hill. Let's just. Oh wait. Odds for the last fight: plus 155. Anders, the underdog, and then Darren Stewart. He's the favorite at minus 180.
If anybody is gonna finish it, it's gonna be Eric Andrews. So maybe take that bet. That sounds pretty good.
Bro, look at lightweight match 10. Nate Harkburst against TD to be decided.
Oh, Nasrat Hakparas.
Oh, they already got him a fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Against Don Mage.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's funny.
This is kind of one of those hangover cards where like they really stocked up UFC 259.
You're
so
right.
We still have a lot of good fights on here and a lot of good names, but
yeah, Johnny, because let's talk about that. So UFC 259, their prelims had a lot of potential main cards.
I think, what was it, 8 finishes? You know what I mean? And
well, no. I just want to talk about
name value.
Yeah, name value. Like Cruz could have highlighted this card. Kyler Murray against who did he fight? Song Yadong could have been on here. You know what I'm saying? So this card's just a little light. Obviously,
But there's some good names on here. Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder is going to be fine. Hani Yaya coming back after a long time. Charles Jourdain.
Jourdain looks good. He's the one who just... Or no, that's not... I'm thinking about the guy who just beat Pieta, or who's the fucking guy? Anyway,
I don't know. Nasra Hapkaras has shown a lot of talent. I believe he trains over there with
your mama.
TriStar. Was that what it is?
Yes.
Frost Hobby. Yeah, it's going to be a good undercard, I think. A lot of good matchups. That's it. That's it, people. We just did another breakdown. Sorry for the wait, but we have returned to bring you quality content. Quality. And we will see you again. But first, a word from our sponsor. This podcast is still not brought to you by Red Bull or Monster or Hans Mullenkamp. Yeah, we're not sponsored. So this podcast is brought to you by us. By the Brothers of the World. Hit us up if you want a t-shirt. We got a lot in stock. $10 a pop. Let us know. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week because we're going to be dropping episodes every week again. Unless Johnny fucks up. Yeah, wait, what? That was me? That was you. I don't think so. But later. Later, guys.